Were you raised without a father? Is all that you remember is being with your mom and sister? Imagine never meeting your dad and looking towards other figures to show you the right ways to do things. Having your mom teach you how to shave, how to tie a tie, how to ride a bike, learning all that stuff from your mom and not your dad. This documentary is going to be about the struggles of being raised without a father and how it impacts the child and the parent.
Some struggles raising two children without a father. Well, my two children are 10 years apart. So there were financial struggles at some times, social struggles. Like when I had my daughter, I was 18. So at that time, all of my teenage friends, I was a wife and a mom. So I didn't do the same kind of things that my friends in high school were doing. As an adult, though, when I had you, more so struggles then would have been juggling two kids, one in elementary school, one a brand new baby, plus working.
Okay. Do you think kids need a father in their lives?
Absolutely. I do think that children need a father. If it unfortunately can't be biological, I do feel that children need a father figure in their life. So having one boy, one girl, I think raising the girl was easier on a personal level because I could relate 100% to everything that they went through. As a boy, it's been a little bit more challenging. There's things that'll happen in a teenage boy's life that insight that he needs really needs to come from a man, because that man at one time lived it himself, you know. As a mother playing the mother and father role, it can get a little tricky sometimes because in our aspect, you know, you and your sister, we each had our own relationship with each other, and not having a male in those relationships from day one, it was a struggle for you and your sister to accept the view of another male. You know, you were acclimated to my ways, and having a male introduced later in life didn't really pose some issues, but there were some speed bumps we had to work through. So absolutely, I feel that a child needs both.
What were some struggles that you went through growing up without a father?
Growing up without a father, it was a little different. So the things that a father maybe should have taught me were taught to me differently, but still taught. I'd say that was definitely one of the biggest.
Okay. Do you think kids need a father in their lives, and why?
I don't think that it's a need. You and I both didn't necessarily have a father for the majority of the years. And I think that things are different when you do. Don't you look at things from a different perspective because it's the only way that it's ever been. And I think that you mature maybe a little bit faster because you have more roles to pick up, you have more things to understand. I think you learn more things about like interactions with people and just how to handle situations because every situation is different. So I don't think that it's a need. I think it's beneficial, but I think it's equally as beneficial to not, because you learn in two completely different ways. And I think that kind of makes or breaks it.
Okay. And what was it like growing up with a father? And can you explain in detail?
Until I was older, really like thought about the fact that like, I don't know, I guess I didn't have one. It was always me and mom until you came around, until I started to hang out with friends from school. And then I realized that like other people have dads, and like that's like strange because my family dynamic isn't like that, you know? But so I think at that point, that's when I kind of started on the whole like, what if, why question train that you get on when you find yourself in a situation like this. But at the same time, I think that it really made me who I am. It made me like the independent, strong person. Mom was a lot to do with that. You know, she did what she had to, anything and everything, even what she didn't want to, you know, and that's just what it was.
What do you think would be different if your father was still alive and here?
I think the way I handle situations probably would have changed as well, because then at that point you have more than one person to mimic, to respond to say, hey, this is how they handle it, this is how they handle it. Well, Mom just always handled it, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna handle it, like, this is fine. So I think it definitely helped with my maturity, my independence, because, you know, the independent lifestyle that we've always just lived. I mean, Mom's always been there, but we've always like kind of navigated the world on our own. And I think that has a lot to do with it too.
This is what it has been like growing up without a father. Even though the situation I've grown up with, I've had an amazing mother who has done a great job.